considers the end of the pandemic like pornography. He can't define it, but he'll know it when he sees it. We should all live so long.
Exactly. You should see these nuts on the message boards if you read the stories about the pandemic. You know, the Karens, when they're not calling into the snitch lines, they're posting on the message boards, and they're saying, when can the mask mandate go? When we have zero infections. When do we ever have zero anything in a human society? You're never going to have zero, but that's the way they want it, because these are the hardliners. It's not science. It's science fiction. It's a religion. It's a cult.
For any white cop that has to use lethal force against a minority, it's heads they win, tails you lose. Exactly.
And you know damn well that Reardon, like every other cop in America, had been thinking about this situation, and he made the right decision, and I salute him for doing that. And incidentally, you know, you hear these people like Joy Reid and Kathy Griffin. Oh, it's just a knife fight. Yeah, teachers should be able to diffuse the situation. In Cincinnati, on the same day, not that far away from Columbus, Ohio, one 13-year-old girl stabbed another 13-year-old girl to death with a knife. So that's the kind of, I guess there wasn't a school teacher around to diffuse that one. And in Columbus, Ohio, the same place where Officer Reardon killed the 16-year-old, two 15-year-old boys got into a gunfight. That was a real gunfight. Both of them had guns, shooting at one another.
Copy.
The Chump Line is brought to you by Matthews Brothers, America's oldest window manufacturer. And as we enter the final week of competition to fish with Captain Dave, we also celebrate Patriots Week and honor the bravery of Paul Revere, William Dawes, and Samuel Prescott. Their heroism in the moments leading up to our revolution echoes still. America.
A happy Earth Day to David Ismay.
he being the former undersecretary of climate change for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Again, think of the irony. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts, which for 2 weeks couldn't perform any automobile inspections on cars, had an undersecretary of climate change to cure the rising sea levels and global warming.
Yeah, Howie. So Charlie Parker's calling this Sexual Assault Awareness Month?
Yes.
Yet we're still ignoring Gropey's incident? Charlie Parker isn't a rhino. He's a hippo. Hypocrite.
Yeah, I know. In the old days, the newspapers would have some story about that somebody would ask a question at the next press conference. As part of Sexual Awareness Month, what's the story with the charges against your son? Are they still pending, or have they been broomed permanently? But no, it's the Amen chorus in the Boston news media.
When Obama said that we had 57 states, it's not that he was wrong. He was just predicting the not too distant future.
Yeah. If they really get going with this thing of breaking up states, it'll be a lot more than 57 too. I'll tell you that. I hope it doesn't happen. I really do.
I'd like to thank all the dinosaurs for giving up their lives so we could have fossil fuels to drive our cars.
That was the most thoughtful thing I've heard on Earth Day so far. That beats the hell out of anything Greta Thunberg or the youth climate activist said today. I would like to join in. Thank you, Dino.
Who knew that Plug suffers from PTSD? Problems talking sense, demonstrably. He can't go a day where he doesn't say something that borders on idiocy.
Let's play cut one.
Patty Young owns a hair salon in Springfield, Ohio. She's also dedicated to getting her customers and employees vaccinated, that when they leave the salon, the salon,
Wow. Keep going.
You remember? I can't believe that cop in the George Floyd case. I would never let someone suffocate for that long. Well, other than that one time with that girl there. But I did pay dearly. They suspended my driver's license. Yeah.
Yeah, they suspended his driver's license. He didn't have a driver's license at the time when he drowned Mary Jo Kopechne. His birthday was in February. It happened in July, but hey, who's counting? And they suspended it when he renewed it, and of course that didn't stop him from driving. He was soon seen driving around just like every day. And here's a good point from 917: a teacher break up a knife fight, they won't even go back into the classroom to teach. I loved my Aunt Mabel, and she taught in the toughest grade school, the elementary school in Portland, which was the old North School on Munjoy Hill. And, she was a great teacher, but I don't recall her ever talking about breaking up a knife fight. I don't think she would have been real good at breaking up a knife fight.
Chauvin's attorney totally missed the part. He should have blamed climate change for his actions.
Why didn't he think of that? Yeah, but they probably would have said that. No, that's why George Floyd had a problem. In addition to the systemic racism in the country, he was a climate refugee. Did you see this? This is another breaking story today in the endless bad news stories. Biden is thinking of admitting more climate refugees, whatever the hell a climate refugee is.
Are those snowflakes that haven't melted yet?
I guess I think the climate is that they're
going to be welcoming in icebergs.
I think what it really means is that there's somebody puts out a help wanted sign, and they people don't like that climate where they might have to get a job, so they come up north, and we're gonna welcome them with open arms.
Howie, now that cannabis is being legalized everywhere, it would be a great time to introduce Honest Howie's climate anxiety pills.
Yeah, I think the real money to be made though right now. I mean that's a good suggestion for down the road, but I think it's Honest Howie's COVID-19 vaccine passports. They'll be laminated too.
The George Floyd Square, they have special instructions for white people. I mean, you have like separate bathrooms and separate water fountains. I didn't think that was a good idea the first time that was tried.
That's true. In the old South, they had separate bathrooms. They had separate water fountains. When you went to the movie theater, the blacks had to sit up in the balcony. Everything was totally segregated. So I guess it's Back to the Future in Minneapolis at the George Floyd Square.
Now that it's Earth Day, let's all stand in a circle and hold hands and chant loudly, "No more cow farts! No more cow farts!"
There's a story just breaking now that Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's pretty good new congresswoman from Georgia. She's been going after AOC, and she's been challenging AOC to a debate on climate change. And AOC has finally agreed to debate Marjorie Taylor Greene. My money's on Marjorie Taylor Greene if the debate actually comes off. I guess Senator Kennedy was on, John Kennedy from Louisiana was on with Tucker last night, and they played a cut of AOC going on and on about the usual. And at the end, John Kennedy said, it's amazing that someone could be that old and be that dumb, or words to that effect. Well, she went to BU. What can I say?
That was your last Chump Line message. Thank you for calling Howie Carr, you chump.
All right, that's it for the Chump Line today. The Chump Line is the recorded voicemail message service of the Howie Carr Show. You can call and leave your message anytime between the hours of 1 and 4 Eastern Daylight Time. The number to call is 844-500-4242, 844-500-4242. Press 2 for the Chump line. Leave your message, and we may or may not play it at this time each weekday. If you didn't hear your message or you want to just hear more messages from the Chump line, the overflow is put on out as a podcast at around 7 o'clock Eastern time every night. Chopped Chumps, we call it. Get Chopped Chumps wherever you get your Howie Carr Show podcasts. The Chump Line is brought to you every weekday by Matthews Brothers, America's oldest window manufacturer. And as we enter the final week of competition to fish with Captain Dave, we also celebrate Patriots Week and honor the bravery of Paul Revere, William Dawes, and Samuel Prescott. Their heroism in the moments leading up to our revolution echo yet, America.
Fauci considers the end of the pandemic like pornography. He can't define it, but he'll know it when he sees it. We should all live so long.
Yeah. There will be no end. These Rumsfeld used to call the people that were holding out at the end, in the Saddam Hussein days in Iraq, he called them the dead enders. Fauci, Baker, Janet Mills, they're the dead enders. They're never going to give this up. They're having too much fun. I'm Howie Carr.
You're listening to the Howie Carr Radio Network.